Hello all loonies and normals, I'm Joe Silver, welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Neighbours from Hell and Reigns. Let's get started with Neighbours from Hell. Basically, Neighbours from Hell is a game where you got the neighbour from hell. The guy who annoys everybody, the kids, everybody. And you play as Woody, the guy who's decided he's had enough. So he's going to get famous and get his own back, get revenge on this neighbour from hell, all at the same time. So basically you sneak in and you play tricks on him inside his house. You don't want to get caught, because if you do, he's not too impressed, shall we say. There's some very cartoony beating up stuff goes on, because the whole game is very cartoony, and I really love it for that. I mean, I really do. But basically it's play tricks like putting soap on the floor for him to slip on, or marbles on the floor for him to slip on, or or changing the whipped cream that he uses on his pie, changing it for shaving cream so he gets a bad taste in his mouth, or blocking up his toilet with a load of new toilet paper so that he has to clear that before he can use it, sort of thing. It's it's all kind of silly stuff like that. It's on Steam actually, but if you get it on Steam, you have to put it in like the Neighbours from Hell compilation, because you get that one and you get Neighbours from Hell 2, where the bad neighbour is on holiday and you followed them. And that's quite funny. But basically, yeah, that's what Neighbours from Hell is, though. It's a really cartoony, really silly game about playing tricks on this rotten neighbour. Eventually, you can get through, and there's bonuses if you can link tricks. So if he walks straight out of one into another, you get a bonus. And if you can links all the tricks that can be done on a level, if you link them all one to the next to the next to the next until they're all done, you get a really big bonus, because he gets absolutely wound up by then, and you hear him really get really getting wound up, and I was absolutely laughing. So yeah, it really does. That is hilarious. So if you ever get that, that's what that is. Now Reigns. Reigns is a little different. It's an indie game, I think. Yeah, I think you can say it's an indie game. But I've been told it's like Tinder, and I've never played Tinder, but it is a bit like that in the sense that you're a king. Well, several kings, because each time you die, you don't end the game, you start again as another king. And basically the idea is that all you do through the whole game is people will come to you and you say yes or no, or basically they give you two options and you slide left or right to say what you should do. But the idea of the game is that if you want to keep your rule and not be killed, you have to make sure that the four powers, as it calls them, that is the church, the people, the army and your money, are all kept even. That means they can't drop too low, and they can't go too high. If they go too low, something happens and you die, or if they go up too high, something happens and you die. So it's about keeping them in balance. And basically each time you do that, you manage to do that, you can survive another year of your reign. But if you can't, you die in some bizarre or nasty way, or whatever, whatever way it says. And once you die, that's the end of that reign, but another one starts and you have to try and then survive, keep that one going for however long you can. And I love the game, I really do. It's a bit simplistic, a bit, but honestly I like it. I think it's really, because it can give you some really silly situations come up and you're like, what? And stuff, and and it's very bizarre. I mean, it's certainly very bizarre, but honestly, I absolutely love it. Like I said, it is basically just a yes or no game. Those of you who may have played Sort the Court, it's similar to that. If you haven't played Sort the Court, that's another game where you're sat on a throne and you click yes or no on that one. Somebody will come in and ask you a question, you say yes or no. And around the court you got the money builds up as you get more money. But that's Sort the Court, and it's similar to Reigns. So you get in three games today, because I've played that one and I enjoyed that one too. But coming back to Reigns, because that's what I'm really concentrating on, I have to say that it is an absolutely brilliant game. And have I completed it? Well, in a sense I have, yes. It's not that easy to complete, because there is this part where you're supposed to trick the devil. I haven't managed to do that yet. But there is also the point that you keep going and keep going till, and you can even get up to modern day, like the year can be 2017, and you're still going, right? Because each time you die, a new king comes forward. And what I really like about the game is that if you have an heir during the time that you're reigning, the next king will be the name of the heir you had. They won't just give you a random name. See, if you don't, they give you a random name. But if you have an heir, they'll say, well, that's the next king. So they built that mechanic in. And I know you're going to say, well, that's how it works usually. But for a game to build that in, that is cool. And it's really funny. And like I said, you've got to make the choices, because every time you make a choice, something will be affected. Either your church, your people, your army, or your wealth. But it won't tell you how it's going to be affected. It won't say this is going X% down or X% up. To see that, you need to eat an orange mushroom, which gives you clarity. Yes, I did just say eat an orange mushroom. You can also eat a blue one, but that makes everyone look like they've got bunny ears. Yeah, don't ask. That is weird. But yeah, you can actually do that though. You can eat an orange mushroom, and that gives you clarity, and you can actually sort of see more how your money is going to be affected. But unless you do that, you never really know whether it's going to go down or up, so you sort of have to work that out for yourself. All you get is a little circle or a bigger circle above the thing that's going to be affected, and the bigger the circle, the more it's going to be affected. So you have to look and think, well, is this going to take my money down, or is it going to take it up? Is this going to take my church down, or is it going to take it up, etc. for each of the four things. And the idea is to try and keep them in the middle, but that's not easy. Like I said, eventually if you're lucky enough, you will die of old age anyway, and the next king will come along. But if you can die of old age, that's actually quite an accomplishment in itself in this game, because all sorts happens to you before then. So it is a really good game. Like I said, I absolutely love it. I really do. And you know, it's on Steam. Like all the games that I talk about, they're usually on Steam, because you know, that's where I play most of my games. So, but this one is on Steam as well, and if you want to look at it, you can. Like I said, I have really enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, if you've liked what I've talked about here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, tell all your friends, and goodbye.